Ahead on an all-new edition of Tiger 411, we'll see if football could overcome a fourth-quarter deficit to take down arch-rival Delaware on the road. Plus, field hockey battled a former conference foe this past Friday. We'll see if the Tigers could defend their home turf and walk away with a win. Later in the show, I sit down with volleyball head coach Don Meadow and women's soccer head coach Greg Painter as both teams had successful weekends on the road. All that is ahead as Tiger 411 comes your way now. Hello, Tiger Nation, and welcome back into the Towson Sports Network studios as we get ready for another edition of Tiger 411. I'm your host, Zach Maskovich. Entering play on Saturday, Towson football had dropped their last three contests, and they were looking for their first conference win of the 2014 season. Standing in their way, one of their biggest rivals, the Delaware Blue Hens. When these two teams met last year, it was a 32-31 victory for the Blue Hens as Delaware erased a 21-point Towson lead to win in the final minutes of that game. The Tigers had a form of payback in mind when they took the field at Delaware Stadium on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. After surrendering an opening drive touchdown to the Blue Hens, the Tigers put together an excellent drive of their own. Connor Frazier takes a snap, drops back, throws a beautiful fade to Andre Dessenberg for the touchdown. That's Dessenberg's first touchdown reception of the year, and the Sam Hurwitz PAT would tie things up at 7. Towson's defense came to play in this one. Second quarter now, Delaware ahead 14-7. Trent Hurley hooks up with Stephen Clark. He's met by a host of Tigers and loses the football. Ty Smith snatches it up, and the Tigers force their first turnover of the game. But unfortunately, the Tigers couldn't turn it into any points, and the 14-7 score would hold into halftime. We move ahead to the second half now. The Blue Hens with the ball. Again, the handoff goes to Wes Hills, who's immediately met by James Sims, who was everywhere for the Tigers, proving why he was added to the Jerry Rice Award watch list, which is given to the top FCS freshmen in the country. More from Sims later in this one. Offensively, I'd have to say the Tigers had their best all-around performance of the year. Frazier going to roll out here. He hooks up with Brendan Burney for a 12-yard pitch and catch, and that play is going to set the Tigers up nicely for a makeable field goal attempt. Enter Sam Hurwitz for the 27-yard field goal attempt, and he splits the uprights. That kick cuts the Blue Hen lead to 4 at 14-10 with 5:20 remaining in the third quarter. Ensuing Delaware possession, Hurley takes the snap, drops back, and then Ryan Dallaire comes flying in off the edge for the sack. That's his CAA leading 10th sack of the year, and that would force Delaware to punt on Dallaire's second sack of the day. A few minutes later, we're still in the third quarter. Hurley going to take the snap again, drops back. He's looking for his favorite target, Michael Johnson, and the pass is intercepted by the Tigers' Christian Carpenter, his second interception of the year. Carpenter with a nice little return, and you can't see it here, but let's just say there were some extracurricular activities after the play on the Tigers bench. But Towson would keep the ball after the heads-up play from the Tigers safety. Towson would give up a Delaware field goal, so they trail 17-10. Under 6 minutes left. Frazier hooks up with Spencer Wilkins, who bounces off a few Blue Hens, and he's off to the races. Wilkins takes it to the house, a 39-yard touchdown reception. That ties things at 17. For Towson, it was the longest pass play of the year, and it's huge because it ties this ball game up at 17. After a huge defensive stand, the Tigers would get the ball back with under 4 minutes left. Frazier hands the ball to Darius Victor, who goes untouched off the left side into the end zone. That's a 17-yard touchdown run, and that gives Towson a 24-17 lead with just 49 seconds left to play in the game. Last chance for the Blue Hens. Hurley takes a snap. His pass is deflected by Ty Smith right into the hands of James Sims. Sims finished the day with 6 tackles, 1.5 for loss, and that interception. His play earned him CAA Defensive Rookie of the Week honors, which is outstanding for the freshman linebacker. After that interception, all the Tigers need to do is kneel the ball, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. Frazier knees it, and this one is over. The Tigers go into Delaware Stadium and hand the Blue Hens a 24-17 loss as Towson improves to 3-5 overall, 1-3 in the CAA. Here's head coach Rob Ambrose and senior Spencer Wilkins and Ty Smith after the game.
The fight our team showed in the fourth quarter, considering the number of injuries we have, how beat up we are and how young we are, the fight that we had for the entire game, the whole week, I don't think it's possible for me to be more proud of these young kids. Doing this here against a historic team that's won 6 national championships, 20,000 people on homecoming, yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of fight today. The offense, you know, we changed up some of the stuff we did and put the guys in position to be successful, but they wanted to play. They wanted to get that taste out of their mouth. They believed in each other, and that's a powerful, powerful thing.
Man, we all wanted it, man. We've worked so hard for this, you know. This is one of the biggest games of the year, you know. It's their homecoming. It's their homecoming. It's a rivalry, you know. We love this. So we just had to fight. We just knew we had to strain. It was the fourth quarter. We had to give it our all.
He said in the history of this program, and I could be wrong, I'm not quite sure, but in a 5-year span, I don't think we've ever beat them twice at their place. And this is one of the hardest places in the country to win. For a guy like Spencer to be a 5th-year senior, to make the plays that he's made, to will it, to outpower it. I told him in the locker room at halftime, I'm going to miss him. I'm really going to miss him.
It's big, man. I'm telling you, it's a rivalry, you know. We love this stuff. So it's just good to go out like this.
You know, not being a juggernaut offensively, you need a defense that's strong and that forces turnovers, and we forced a ton of turnovers. Penalties almost killed us, but turnovers killed them. And it wasn't unforced errors. It was pressure on the quarterback. It was guys running the football. It was guys wanting it more. And want to is a powerful thing.
A lot of emotions. You know, I'm happy. You know, this is my senior year, so I'm going to remember everybody, all my defensive players and the offensive players that was with me on that field.
I'm just really proud of them. I'm just proud of them. There's not much more I can say. I love them.
Towson now heads into their all-important bye week with a little bit of momentum on their side after that win. Towson hits the field again on November 1st when they welcome in CAA newcomer Elon into Johnny Unitas Stadium for homecoming. We hope to see the U packed with current and former students cheering on the Tigers. If you can't make it to the game for whatever reason, we'll have it for you live and for free right here on the Towson Sports Network as Spiro Marikas and Ron Meehan bring you all of the action. Coverage will start at 3:30 with the Coors Light countdown to kickoff. The game starts at 4:00 p.m. We have to step aside, take a quick break, but still to come on this episode of Tiger 411, we have field hockey highlights from their Friday night matchup when they hosted VCU. Plus, volleyball head coach Don Metal stops by the studio to talk about his team's recent 5-game win streak as they travel down to the Carolinas this weekend. And then later in the show, I'll be joined with women's soccer head coach Greg Painter. So as you can see, we still have a ton of show left. Don't go anywhere. Tiger 411 returns right after this.
Virtual Wallet can help you be that person who's good with money. See what's free to spend, move money with a slide, save with a shake. Feel good about your decisions.
Brian Vickers, Aaron's sponsored driver. He doesn't just love racing, he lives it.
We got the paper! Woo!
His pit crew follows him everywhere. Oddly, so does his boss.
Right, sign that.
And his passion for racing is rivaled only by his passion for errands.
No credit needed. I'll take it.
Woo!
Congrats.
Aaron's makes owning easy through lease ownership, so you can own the life you want.
You'll find it on the sidewalks of Little Italy and on the porches in Catonsville. You can see it when friends meet in Mount Vernon. It's pride. Pride in our city, pride in our people. That's why MedStar Health is building the most accessible healthcare system in the region to look after everyone from Lutherville to Locust Point. So no matter where you go, No matter who you are, you're never far from MedStar.
Inconceivable! I'm the king of the world!
Thank you. Very little. I'll have what she's having.
Houston, we have a problem. You talking to me? Earmuff! Show me the mini! Say hello to my little friend.
Pepsi Mini Cans. Little can. Epic satisfaction.
When cold refreshment calls, Coors Light answers. Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Welcome back to Tiger 411. Joining us now in studio, the head coach of the volleyball team here at Towson, Don Meadow. Coach, first of all, thanks for joining us today.
Sure, thanks for having me.
Big weekend this past weekend for you. You went down to the Carolinas and took care of business. You come out with 2 wins, first over Elon, then UNCW. Let's start with the game against Elon. You guys take that one 3-1. Tell me about how you thought your team played against Elon.
Yeah, we were a little sluggish. You know, we had some bus legs coming off the bus. We traveled down that day. But Elon's definitely a dangerous team. They're a team that's searching for their first conference win, and any team that's searching for their first conference win like us last year, they can be dangerous at any time. So we played sluggish, but we were able to actually stay in the game late, trailing from behind, and play some decent volleyball, got us out of trouble, and came home with a win.
Now then you go down, or then you come back up to North Carolina, Wilmington. You guys get a 3-2 win, but this was a really back and forth match. You know, it could have gone either way.
Yeah, it's a big win for us, not only, you know, from where we were last year to now, but that one match in itself decided who was going to be second place in the conference and who was going to be fourth place. So it was a huge match. So we told our girls that. We knew what was on the line. And it was definitely a hostile environment. They had a lot of fans, none of which were rooting for us. So it was good to come out with a victory there.
Yeah, so you just mentioned it. You talked to the girls about what was on the line in that game against Wilmington, and obviously they responded pretty well. Is that something that you normally do, that you make sure that they are aware of the situation in the standings before a match?
Sometimes not. I think it was just a key point for us, especially with our sluggish play 2 days prior at Elon. I felt the need to have a little bit of external motivation in their heads. You know, and we knew that going into the match we needed to block well and play better defense than we did against Elon, and the team really responded, and we beat Wilmington in those 2 categories. We were only the 3rd team all season long to outblock Wilmington, so that's a huge figure for us.
No doubt about it. Switching to the offensive side, Saitawa Iosia really led you guys all weekend, as she does most matches, it seems like. 19 kills against Elon, a season-high 26 against UNCW. That earns her CAA Player of the Week, and we were talking off the air, and you guys just keep racking these awards up. Last year it was last week rather, it was Victoria Williams. This week, Saitawa Iosia. So it's got to be nice that the individual performances aren't from the same person every week. You know, somebody else is stepping up all the time.
Yeah, agreed. You know, Saw's second Player of the Week award. Haley has one. Tori has one. If those girls play up to their potential at the same time during the same match, we'll be a very, very dangerous team to stop. Our focus this week is going to be on our defense. If we can dig 2 or 3 more balls per set and convert on a few of those offensively, we're even going to have bigger wins in regards to point margins.
Now, the people that are setting up the EOC the Pacals, the Williams Amy Schubert and Barbara Lopez. Huge weekends for them. No errors in either game, and they combined for over 100 assists.
Yeah, it's exciting. Earlier in the season, Barbara and Amy would have a ball handling error or 2, and those are just free points to our opponent. So for us to be earning 16 to 18 of our own points and forcing our opponent now to earn their points instead of carelessly giving away free points is even more of a struggle for our opponents to win. So for Amy and Barbara all weekend long to be error-free in regards to ball handling errors is a stat that we've been hoping for and and are glad we're seeing now turning the corner into the second half of CAA play.
So 5 straight wins for your team. This week you take on Delaware State and Delaware, both matches on the road. But when you guys come back on Halloween, you got a huge matchup with Hofstra, with who's right now you guys sit tied atop the CAA standing. So, you know, this is an important week for you guys. If you can take care of business with your 2 games in Delaware, come back and take on this Hofstra team on Halloween, it could be a really fun atmosphere here in CQ.
Yeah, that's the plan. You know, hopefully we get our 20th win tomorrow. We're going to hopefully have the opportunity to let some of our younger kids play and perform, and keeps our starters healthy and injury-free. And, you know, that Delaware match in Delaware is going to be a huge opportunity for us to stay atop the CAA and beat a rival opponent, but more importantly, set the stage for the crucial match between us and Hofstra. You know, who would have thought a year ago today we could possibly be in a position to not only make the CAAs but to host? Yeah, and that's still a reality at this point.
No question.
And, you know, that's an exciting year turnaround for the program.
No, it couldn't be bigger. Hopefully, you guys, when it's all said and done, we are hosting a CAA tournament here inside CQ. I know that would be a whole lot of fun. Before I let you go, we mentioned the Delaware State game on Tuesday. Do you like stepping out of conference this late in the season for a match and then refocusing back up as you move back on into conference play? Yeah, you know, I guess it depends on who the opponent is. Yeah, that's true. You know, not taking anything away from Delaware State, but they're still struggling for some wins this year. It's an opponent that I knew well in the MEAC. Right. And as long as we play those non-conference matches on Tuesdays, I'm a big fan of still playing opponents on early week matches. Tuesday's great. And sometimes playing an opponent is better than being in your own gym, because our practices against our second team sometimes get sluggish. So it's good to, you know, try to raise our level of play against a non-conference opponent this time of year. Well, hopefully you raise that play, and then when we get back here on Halloween with this matchup against Hofstra, hopefully it's got a whole lot more meaning to it. Yeah, most definitely. All right, Coach, thanks for stopping by. Thanks. Don't go anywhere. Coming up after the break, we'll be joined in studio by women's soccer head coach Greg Painter. Tiger 411 returns right after this.
You know how fast you were going?
Yeah, about 55.
Where are you headed at such an appropriate speed?
Across the country to enhance the nation's most reliable 4G LTE network. How's it working for you?
Better than ever. How'd you do it?
Added cell sites, increased capacity.
And your point is?
So you can download music, games, and directions for the road when you need them.
Who's this guy?
Oh, that's Charlie.
You ever put pepper spray on your burrito? I like it spicy, but not like, ooh, spicy.
You always like this?
You have no idea.
AT&T, the nation's most reliable 4G LTE network.
Mariner Finance is a consumer finance company, so we offer personal loans.
Mariner Finance is a great place to work. It's a great thing for anyone with the entrepreneurial spirit.
Everybody in every office has an opportunity to achieve and grow.
Be your own leader. Be a leader amongst the fellow coworkers in your office.
The training and development that we do at Mariner Finance is one-on-one. Someone who has been there, done it, experienced it.
There is no better feeling.
Learn with us.
Grow with us.
Run with us.
You'll find it on the sidewalks of Little Italy and on the porches in Catonsville. You can see it when friends meet in Mount Vernon. It's pride. Pride in our city, pride in our people. That's why MedStar Health is building the most accessible healthcare system in the region to look after everyone from Lutherville to Locust Point. So no matter where you go, no matter who you are, you're never far from MedStar.
This is where the legends live, waiting for someone with better innovation. From the brand that reinvented the t-shirt comes the Under Armour Speedform Apollo. This is our rocket ship.
Refreshment calls, Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Welcome back to Tiger 411. As promised, joining us now in studio, the head coach of the women's soccer team here at Towson, Greg Painter. And Coach, big weekend for you guys this past weekend, picking up a win at Delaware on Friday, then a tie at Drexel on Sunday. Let's start with the game against Delaware. It's the first win at Delaware since 2000 for you guys, and your first conference win of this year. It had to be a special day on Friday up in Newark.
Yeah, it did. I mean, we played really hard, and it's a tough place to win, and Delaware's got a good team this year. And so but we played exceptionally hard, and we changed some things due to some personnel changes in our roster, and we came out, we played a new system that we never played before, and the girls played with a lot of heart. We got a goal and made it stand up with tremendous goalkeeping by Erin Quinn and a three-back system that we've never played before, and just really proud of the way the girls played.
I was just going to ask you about that. You switched to the 3-4-3, and it seems like the girls really responded well. I know when we talked earlier, you said that you really liked how hard they were playing out there and how much they wanted to get that win.
Yeah, I mean, the three-back system was something we've never trained, and so, you know, as a coach, you're fearful to do things that you don't practice a lot, but our girls adapted well, and we were able to sustain enough pressure to get a goal, and then we played a lot of defense in the last 20 minutes of that game.
Erin Quinn, 6 saves in the game against Delaware, her 6th shutout of the year. She now has 8 career clean sheets, moving right up the list in the all-time leaders. Just, you know, we talk about all the time when we talk about your team. Erin Quinn, just a really special goalkeeper.
She is. She's consistently very, very good, and that's what you look for. I mean, she keeps us in every game and really provides us with a lot of inspiration and a lot of confidence that we can stay in games and get equalizers and get the win.
Now then Sunday you guys went up to Philadelphia. You took on a tough Drexel team. They came into the game with only 1 conference loss. You worked to a 2-2 tie. You guys took the lead, then relinquished the lead, and then we were able to tie it back up with a goal from Katie Ponce. Just talk about your team's performance up in Philadelphia.
Well, Drexel is a very good team, very solid team, and they were, coming into the weekend, we were in first place in the conference. And for us to go on the road on that turf facility, there was, 20-mile-an-hour winds yesterday that were with us in the first half, and I think that's what really aided us to get that lead. And then, Drexel got 2 goals early in the second half, and we were playing from behind. And for us to claw back into that game and get that equalizer was just a remarkable performance by our team. Again, good defending, but just some inspired play to get that tie and keep our hopes alive of the conference playoffs.
And you have to be, happy with that tie. When you look at the box score, you guys were outshot 29-12, 11 corners to just 1 for you. But to walk out of there with a tie, when you see those numbers, has to make you happy.
Well, it was. I mean, again, we played strong defense, and when you've got 2 freshmen and starting in a 3-back system, and one of those players hasn't played there all season. I mean, it's special to get some results on the road and get 4 points on a weekend, which was desperately needed.
Do you think that change in the formation just kind of lit a fire under the girls to, they're doing something new, and just the way they responded, it seems like it was a positive thing?
Well, I think so. I think that they, it's like anything else. When your backs are against the wall, you come out and you fight pretty hard, and that's what we did. After a disappointing weekend at home, the weekend before that, to come out on the road and just play hard and gritty. I described both results on this weekend that maybe we didn't deserve them, but we certainly earned them. And every one of our players really contributed in that fashion.
Now, a player that contributed a lot was Katie Ponce. She had a goal in each game. She now has 5 on the season, leading the team. And she was named CAA Player of the Week this week. Talk about Katie's senior year and how special she is for the team.
Well, she's just a handful for defenses to handle what she can do athletically, and for her to get the game winner against Delaware on Friday night was just sheer athleticism to get to the ball that was placed out there and to put something on frame. And then the equalizing goal yesterday, again against the wind, against a team that was controlling the game, to fight that hard to get that goal. It's just it's a testament to her character and her fight in her, but also in our team. And this time of year, Katie got the recognition, but all of our seniors stepped up really huge this weekend, with Erin Quinn in goal. Yeah. Sophia Reed scored a goal yesterday. Caitlin Axenfeld played the best game of her season yesterday against Drexel. So that's what you look for, is these seniors to lead the way this time of year.
Now, at this time of year, we have 2 more games at home coming up for you guys, Elon and then William & Mary. William & Mary obviously will be the last home game of the year, so it'll be senior day. So you get to honor all your seniors. I know that's got to be a special day for you as a coach every year, getting to play with your seniors one last time.
Well, I mean, we've got Elon first, and we have to focus on Elon. And, you know, we haven't performed as well at home this year. You know, we've let some games get away from us, and we really have to put all of our focus on taking care of business on Friday afternoon. Because we're in a situation where we're still alive, but we have to win 2 games. And so we can't allow the game from Elon to slip away from us, and we got to go out there and take care of business on Friday. And then absolutely Sunday will be senior day to recognize the accomplishments of this class. And they've had a really good career, and we'll be real excited to celebrate them on Sunday.
No question about it. Well, Coach, good luck this weekend. We hope we get out there, get 2 wins, and we're talking CAA tournament next time we talk.
That'd be wonderful. Thanks.
All right, Coach, thanks for joining us. Don't go anywhere. We still have more Tiger 411 coming up right after this.
Virtual Wallet can help you be that person who's good with money. See what's free to spend, move money with a slide, save with a shake. Feel good about your decisions.
You'll find it on the sidewalks of Little Italy and on the porches in Catonsville. You can see it when friends meet in Mount Vernon. It's pride. Pride in our city, pride in our people. That's why MedStar Health is building the most accessible healthcare system in the region to look after everyone from Lutherville to Locust Point. So no matter where you go, no matter who you are, you're never far from MedStar.
Wise Markets Ice Cream Plant is based in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and it's locally owned and operated. We've been making our ice cream for nearly 50 years. We create roughly 70 flavors of ice cream right now. We use local ingredients, especially our cream, which is from our milk plant. The cream is what gives our ice cream a rich and creamy texture. Now, together with our customers, we've created a product called Peanut Butter Indulgence, which will be coming out this summer. It's a peanut butter ice cream with sea salt caramel swirl and chocolate-covered pretzel. How could you go wrong with that? Personally, I love our ice cream. If you come to our house at any given time, you'll find at least 5 packets of ice cream in our freezer. Our kids grew up eating Wise quality ice cream, and now we get to treat our grandchildren to it. It's been a pleasure for me to be tasting ice cream for over 40 years for Wise Markets, and I'm loving every minute of it.
This is where the legends live, waiting for someone with better innovation. From the brand that reinvented the t-shirt comes the Under Armour Speedform Apollo. This is our rocket ship.
Welcome back to Tiger 411. I'm your host, Zach Maskovich. Field hockey was back in action this past Friday as they were under the lights in Johnny Unitas Stadium for a non-conference battle with a former conference foe. The Tigers welcoming in the VCU Rams into Johnny Unitas Stadium for this Friday night matchup. Towson looking to snap a recent 5-game losing skid and in the process pick up their 3rd win of the year. First half Tigers with the corner attempt. Stacey McIntosh winds and fires, but it goes just wide. Tigers unable to capitalize. Defensively, the Tigers freshman goaltender Emily Woodell looked as impressive as ever. Woodall doing everything she can to deny the Rams of the goal here in the first half. We jump to the second half now. Rams get a good look at the goal again, but again, Woodall denies the Rams. She made a game-high 6 saves, but it wasn't enough as Towson falls to VCU 2-0, and they drop their overall record to 2-11. Field hockey then traveled to College Park to take on the Appalachian State Mountaineers at the University of Maryland. Despite an early goal from Sam Zelenek, the Tigers fell to the Mountaineers by a 2-1 final. Field hockey is back in action on Friday when they return home to host Hofstra at 6 p.m. Believe it or not, we're almost out of time on this episode of Tiger 411, but before we go, let's take a look at all of the action that's going on in Tiger Town this week. That's going to do it for this episode of Tiger 411. Don't forget to check back the same time next week for the latest episode, or you can always watch on demand at TowsonSportsNetwork.tv. Be sure to check out the latest edition of the Tiger Football Report, which is available every Friday morning. Check in this week for Coach Ambrose's reaction to the big win over Delaware and how the team plans to handle the bye week coming up. Also, for the latest news on your favorite Tiger teams, be sure to follow them on Twitter at Towson Tigers, and while you're at it, give me a follow at Zach Maskovich. A special thanks to Don Meadow and Greg Painter for stopping by the studio. Once again, I'm Zach Maskovich. Thanks for watching, and until next week, go Tigers!